play their tune, dance to the beat of the dead balloon. Find a rise, find a rose. Currency flows where the data unfolds. Find a rise, find a sing. Money moves on invisible strings. Find a rise, find a room. Currency flows where the data unfolds. Find a rise, find a sing. Money moves on invisible strings. Jars scream silent, they don't know
Laura Schlossberg, Managing Director at BK Asset Management.
BK Asset Management's Kathy Lean.
Hi, good morning, everyone. This is Kathy. If you can hear me, you can see me, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that the stream is working out well and everything's coming through. Say hello, good morning, welcome everyone to our Monday Market Buzz, where we kind of dissect what's going to happen in the markets and then talk about the trading plan that we can all have for the week. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, Park, David, Cheryl. Them loud and clear. Wonderful. Okay. I always start by asking who's brand new here, because if you're brand new to our Monday Market Buzz, I want to give you a little extra love and pay attention to your questions. So if you're brand new here, say new. If you joined last week's Fed meeting, you made some money, give me a dollar sign or money bag. The market behaved exactly the way we expected, which is that, they under-delivered. They gave us only one member, or didn't give us, but only one member voted for a 50 basis point rate cut. And the outlook for 2026 was only one more rate cut beyond what they have this year. So it's important to have a game plan, understand the game plan, and be able to, react to the data quickly when you already know how to prepare. And that's what we try to do on Mondays too. Sometimes we have big events like last week and the past couple of weeks. Sometimes we don't, like this week. We don't have any specific major events, but that doesn't mean that we don't have opportunity. So, it seems like everyone here is been with us for a while, so we don't have any newcomers. That's okay. Maybe they'll come in later. So this brand new trading week, we don't have much in the way of huge market moving events, but that does not mean that we won't have opportunity as well as some nice trends, because even though we don't have any specific data on the calendar, we do have quite a bit of other things going on. For example, I think we have like 14 Federal Reserve presidents speaking this week. Now, before the Federal Reserve meeting, usually they go into what we call the quiet period, where they don't say anything at all. They're not allowed to. So there's a quiet period where we don't really hear from the Federal Reserve officials. And then once we get past the Federal Reserve meeting, then it's kind of free reign. They have about 2 weeks to say anything and everything they want to say. And that's important because guidance is really key, and what these central bankers say really is important. And the reason, that includes Powell, who's speaking today. Yes, thank you, Gabriel, for hitting the like button. Hit the like button if you like this. I don't know what kind of difference it makes, but I think it should make some difference to YouTube. So please hit the like button. So last week, from the Federal Reserve, as you all know, they cut interest rates by 25 basis points, and they indicated that more needs to be done, but not as much as, at least not the onset, as much as the market really thought they would. So this week, it's really for the Federal Reserve officials to kind of clear the air, to give us the just a sense of how dovish they really are. We heard from Powell. We know that they lowered their rate, the dot plot, but they raised their they raised their GDP as well as their inflation forecast. So we're going to hear that from these 16 unique speakers. I don't know if it's 16. We'll look at the calendar together. It's like somewhere between 14 and 16. Maybe Thomason did the math and counted the number of Fed officials. Are these 14 to 16 Fed officials going to tell us the exact same thing? Are they all going to be consistently dovish, saying more needs to be done, or they're going to still highlight the strength of the underlying economy, yada yada? That is really what's going to be the key to how the market moves. But as one of my very insightful members here, I guess Thomason as well, when we don't have much in the way of data, technicals could take the lead. But there are other things. But first off, stock futures, they're lower this morning. Take a wild guess. Why do you think stock futures are lower? I always like to make this session interactive to make sure that you are all paying attention. Take a wild guess. There really are no wrong answers. Why do you think stock futures are lower? Why do you think gold is at a record high this morning? Why do you think gold jumped 1%? I'm going to go ahead and share with you my chart, and we're going to see, the moves in the markets today. Give me 1 second to share with you my chart while you all share screen. Okay, chart. All right. Fresh record high in gold. Look at that. 37,000. Looks like 4,000 seems to be the next stop. Take a wild guess. Yosef says government shutdown. Park says fear in the market. Fred says better US data. Who has no idea? If you have no idea, give me a question mark. If you have no idea why gold is at a record high, let me know. If you do, then, I'm going to take all this for what it is. It is pretty much exactly what Sandy says. There are so many reasons why gold is at a record high. I mean, why is gold at record high? I love to type in my charts. Number one, you guys said government shutdown. Yes, another government showdown is looming. But, we've kind of been down this road before. We've been down this road so many times. And, we're 10 days away from the possibility of a government shutdown. And, they always tend to reach an 11th hour deal. Maybe it has a little bit of impact on the markets, but generally speaking, they tend to reach an 11th hour deal. And, I don't think they're going to reach a shutdown. I think, Trump is going to do everything in his power to avoid one. And it is, of course, impacting the markets and affecting gold and stocks, but it's not the only reason. Number two, geopolitical risks. Who said geopolitical risks? Geopolitical risks. There's my friends here. Peter said geopolitical uncertainty. I mean, Russia shooting all these drones. They're testing the resolve of NATO. Geopolitical risk is definitely something that was front and center over the weekend. Friday, Saturday, those were the headlines. Really big story. And Russia's testing the resolve of NATO. I don't think that this is over. And so that is making the markets nervous. Another thing is lower rates. I mean, lower rates are coming in the US, right? And that is definitely impacting gold, but it's not, it should be positive for stocks, not negative for stocks, right? It's really 1 and 2, which are negative for stocks and also negative. You lower interest rates are also negative for yields. There's also that huge story today all over the news, 100K H-1B visa fee. It seems like Trump is moving his tariffs from goods to people. And, that's definitely going to be hurtful for a lot of NASDAQ stocks. For example, Amazon has, I think, 14,000 H-1B visa holders. Meta, Apple, Google, I'm sure I'm missing one of them, have about 4,000 to 5,000 H-1B visa holders. This is going to increase costs. These companies have to make a tough choice. Either they, one, continue to hire and pay $100,000 to the U.S. government for these H-1B visa hires, or two, they hire an American for $80,000 to $100,000 more, or three, they hire their foreign workers, but they put them in one of their many, many offices around the world and then pay Zoom an extra $20 fee for their license. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think this is a win or a loss for the U.S.? I want to hear this. Type in the comments. Do you think these companies like Amazon, Apple, Google, Meta, are they going to pay the $100,000 fee, pay an American worker more, or just offshore the job? What do you think? If I was Amazon, I mean, I'm obviously not Amazon, Apple, or Google, but what do I think the easiest and cheapest solution is pay Zoom an extra $20, $50 a month and have an ongoing license. These days, we live in a very electronic world. You can easily have, even we all lived through this during COVID. It's as if we're in the same office. You don't need to pay $100,000. I think they're going to offshore. We'll have to see, but it is a loss for the U.S., which is a loss for these companies, which is a loss for the dollar, which increases more uncertainty. So all of these are reasons why gold is at a record high, and why stock futures are lower. And all of these are bigger stories this week than data. We do have data. We have a lot of PMIs. PMIs are my favorite numbers. They are, we have Eurozone PMI, UK PMI, Australia PMI, US PMI. The reason why they're my favorite numbers is because they are the most recent data for September. And they tell us how things are happening right now as opposed to like retail sales, which is a month ago, or non-farm payrolls with the month ago. So PMIs are important, and they're my favorite data. And they're all being released this week from a lot of countries like Eurozone, UK, Australia. So those would be very market moving for these currencies. But from the US, we don't have much. I mean, from the US, all we have is like, from the US, we have the most important PCE, personal income, personal spending at the end of the week on Friday. So it's on Friday, we're pretty much done. We do have durable goods. And we also have, aside from durable goods, we have the jobless claims report and the trade balance. And this is actually interesting because this is on Thursday, because these are they give a sense of how the tariffs have impacted big ticket items, have impacted trade. And then, of course, all of the Fed speak that we have, including Powell, who is speaking today. So this is the main focus for the dollar, which is important, but not exceptionally important. Let me see what all of you are saying. So all of you, there's a consensus. All of you think that's a huge loss for the US. I don't disagree. Middle East is attracting talent. H-1B visas being abused. Maybe it's true. But if I was Amazon, Apple, Meta, Google, my reaction would be to offshore these jobs, to keep the talent, offshore the jobs, and not pay the fee. And that is a lose-lose, I think, for the US, which is why this is negative for stocks, which is why it is negative for the dollar. So talking about this week, whenever we talk about what to expect for this week, particularly in a week where we don't have a lot of data and not a lot of event risk that could change things around, it's important to take into context what happened last week. And as you know, the Fed cut interest rates by 25 basis points, but the Fed cut interest rates by 25 basis points, and guess what? Where's my arrow? Let's look at the dollar yen. Dollar yen rallied, euro dollar sold off. Okay, not that much. My arrow is overextending things, but the dollar ended up higher. Why? We laid out this game plan for the Fed FOMC. Number one, they cut rates, which was expected. They didn't do 50 basis points, which would be the huge surprise. Only one person, which was Mirren, the new member, voted for a 50 basis point cut. And then they have two more cuts this year and one cut next year, which really wasn't enough. The market wanted 2 for next year to 3. And then they raised their GDP and CPI forecast. So all of it meant that it was not dovish enough. So this is the context that we're going into this week. Unfortunately, we don't have data this week. It's not like we have non-farm payrolls this week to cast doubt on any of this. The only thing that we have this week is, as I said, the Fed speak. So we're going to be watching Fed speak to see whether they are all dovish and indicate that more should come. I don't think that's going to happen. So we only have, like we said, the personal income, personal spending, PCE deflator, trade data, and all that fun stuff. So what does that mean in terms of my outlook? For those of you that are BK members, we are dollar neutral this week. And for those of you with BK members, you can click on this and you get all of my details for why I think something is positive or negative. We're neutral dollars this week. We have to acknowledge the price action. We have to acknowledge the fact that we don't have market moving data, and the outcome of the FOMC was not overly dovish. So I am still overall dovish, bearish dollars. But even though I may be bearish dollars, we have to recognize that the price action this week is more positive than negative. And that's, or at least last week going to this week. We also have to acknowledge that we don't have event risk to really change things around. So I'm neutral dollars. And when I'm neutral, that means that everything is kind of fair game. We will be looking for opportunities in our, you see my zip alerts coming up. We'll be looking for opportunities to buy or sell dollars depending upon how things go. So it will really be keying off, as I think Peter said, one of our friends, I forgot who it was, saying that this is a week where technicals will really be valuable. It's not going to be less about fundamentals. The fundamental themes will still be there, but technicals will still be very, very valuable. We do have a lot of data, as I said, from other countries. Europe. Europe, we're looking at Euro right now. Let me remove this box here. We're looking at Euro right now. We have Eurozone PMIs tomorrow. Eurozone PMIs tomorrow, German IFO on Wednesday. Those are the two of the most important pieces of Eurozone data out there. Did you want to say something, Boris? Good morning.
Good morning. I have a question about Euro. Just a second, as I'm getting into trade here. I don't know if you saw Mohamed El Arian's post today, but he was talking about the fact that France is now taking over from Italy as the worst credit rating in the Eurozone, that it's really having serious funding issues. And I'm wondering if you think that's going to start to have an impact on Euro, in the sense that, like, what if we start seeing funding problems, not in the lower economies of Europe, but in the ones that are the leading, France, Germany, Spain, the economies that are, the front of Europe. Do you think that's a risk as we go forward?
I mean, that's a really good question. I think that sovereign debt crisis has always been something that's very important and impactful for the markets. And so when we do have a sovereign debt crisis, and we saw this in the past, and some of you may have not experienced this, even when it's a small country, it can make a big difference in the Eurozone. Now, I don't think that we're in a situation where France will have a sovereign debt crisis. So it's less of a concern right now, but it's something that is, in the background. And then also you have geopolitical risks that's plaguing the euro. And that's important. But at the end of the day, I think it's important to realize that as long as the sovereign debt risk, as long as these countries are not at the brink of default, like, what is it? Argentina is having a huge issue right now. And so, there's, they basically could be subjected to a huge economic crisis there. As long as France is not Argentina, I don't think that it's an imminent issue. I think that the euro is usually traded as the anti-dollar. And the fact that we do have a little bit of a pullback in the dollar today is part of the reason why the euro is higher. Now, to cut to the chase, what I'm trying to get at is that I think, euro has more upside than downside. I think we'll see euro at 120, in maybe even, by January, February of next year, if not sooner, because, the ECB is pretty much done with lowering interest rates. The Fed is just getting started, and interest rates is probably the most important driver of euro dollar flows. So, and I think there's because we have the stronger zoo survey, data from the Eurozone in general has been relatively okay. As long, the PMIs tomorrow are important. The IFO on Wednesday is important as well. If those are relatively stable, we should get a renewal in the Euro rally. So I think right now, while that is something to not ignore, I think that it's not an imminent risk. But yes, for almighty, Argentina is having a huge issue right now. The president, the Argentinian leader, is meeting with Trump tomorrow in order to, halt the sell-off in their markets and avoid a debt crisis. They're having issues making payments to the U.S., or they could have issues in making payments in the U.S. It's actually
it's more of a foreign currency. They don't have any reserves. That's the problem. It's not that Argentina is having issues. They're having great growth, and they really balance their budget, but they have no foreign reserves. So what he's really asking Trump is just to give him FX credit line. That's what they really need.
So France is not Argentina right now, and so I think that is why I'm still bullish euros. And we'll have to see how the PMIs fare tomorrow. But if the PMIs are good, I think we're going to see this kickoff rally. If the PMIs are bad, I still think the euro is going to be a buy on dip. Now, on to dollar yen. Last week was quite interesting for Japan. The Bank of Japan met. They left interest rates unchanged. And And the most important thing is that there were two members who actually made hawkish comments and suggested that they could raise interest rates again this year. So rate hike bets are back on. You don't see it in dollar yen really, because it's really driven by US dollar flows. But I think that the yen could, outperform a bit. And I think, dollar yen between the US dollar, looking shaky, and then the yen, having some positive flows, I think dollar yen could move lower. Now, I posted a video last week talking about the importance. We talked about this in our BK coaching sessions, where I talked about the importance of watching yields on both an intraday basis as well as on a day trading, on a swing basis. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. I added the 10-year treasury yield. I put it on the left-hand side of the chart. Hold on. I want to make this line blue so it's easier to see. And you can see here that these are pretty much mirror images of each other, particularly if we go to the weekly chart. You can see that the 10-year treasury yield and dollar yen are pretty much mirror images of each other. So on a week like this, where we don't have much in the way of data, one of the most important things to watch to get a sense of how the dollar will trade is US yields. Now, you may say, Kathy, you're looking at a weekly chart. You're on a daily chart. I'm not a swing trader, but that's okay, because this is also, look at this. This is a 1-hour chart of dollar yen. And it shows you that even when if you are a swing trader, it still day trader still matters, because it still tracks it on a 1-hour basis. And then on Friday, when we were looking at this and we were talking about this, I talked about how dollar yen was going to fade into the London close because yields were falling. And right now it looks like yields are falling too. And if we drop to the 15-minute chart, the relationship is still there. So you can use fundamentals to trade. And that's really what I am getting at, which is, fundamentals are very, very valuable, and you can use fundamentals to trade. So, and I want to take just a second to tell you all that I'm doing a fundamentals masterclass on how to trade using fundamentals for gold, stocks, Forex, all three markets starting on October 4th. So make sure you scan the QR code. Classes begin October 4th. It's going to be 10 weeks of lessons, 3 months of coaching, and a tremendous amount of information. I am only doing this one time only. There'll be no more live classes after we begin our coaching, because it's very labor intensive for me. So if you really, really want to learn how to trade with fundamentals, this is the only time ever, which is why I'm telling you today, that I'm doing this live, total edge masterclass to learn how to trade, day trade and swing trade with fundamentals in gold, Forex, and stocks. So make sure you join us there. It's going to be very, very valuable. And this is some of the things that I teach. So make sure, you join us there. And Boris will drop in the link into the chat. Let me just give him the link so that he can drop it into the chat. And then we will move on to talking about the other major currencies. Okay, so this is dollar yen. Dollar yen is, moving lower. And because the BOJ is a little bit more positive and the Fed is beginning interest rate cuts, it's going to have a significant impact on the markets. Now, aside from that, we also have the the Tokyo inflation data that is coming out. So the Tokyo inflation data is coming out on, I think, Thursday of this week. And that is also supposed to be stronger, motivating the fact that the Federal Reserve is the Bank of Japan could actually raise interest rates at the end of the year. So that's the euro. And you can see that I'm bullish euros. I'm bearish pounds. I'm bearish pounds because we had a lot of weak data from UK. Last week was a huge week for the UK. And if we look at the calendar, you'll see last week we had weaker UK jobs report, weaker UK inflation, weaker consumer confidence, retail sales was stronger, but most of the data was weaker. Bank of England, they left interest rates unchanged, but there is scope for the possibility of another interest rate cut from the Bank of England. Now, some of you are trading the pound and you're asking me about the pound. Now, this week we have UK PMIs on the calendar. Like Eurozone, we have Eurozone PMIs, we have UK PMIs. And so the PMIs are front and center for the UK. So that's going to be very, very important. Now, in terms of the UK, because we had such weakness in data, the risk is to the downside for the UK PMI report. So I'm still, now it's trading primarily in US dollar flows, but I think the pound will underperform and I think it will slide. And I think that, the level to watch will be today's low. If it breaks below 134.50, then we're going to see a much deeper slide lower. But focus on your technicals with a skew to the downside for pound dollar, especially if tomorrow's PMI numbers are weaker. I am neutral the Australian dollars. We had really, really weak Australian labor market numbers last week, which is why part of the reason why Aussie peaked out. It's part of the reason why the Australian dollar is flat today and having very, very bit of a struggle for it to rally. And it's finding a little bit of support. I'm neutral because we have PMIs tonight, which will probably be weaker as well. But I think that, the dollar could rebound a little bit. But overall, I love to trade crosses. And I think that the Aussie is going to underperform the crosses this week. I still really like Euro Aussie. I mean, look at this. It's breaking above all of the major moving averages. I think we could have some really nice upside opportunity in Euro Aussie, for example. So I really like Aussie short against the crosses, particularly against the euro. New Zealand, New Zealand dollar sold off quite a bit last week. We had really weak New Zealand GDP numbers. PSI, PMI from New Zealand was weaker as well. We don't have any Kiwi data this week. I'm watching this 200 SMA. This is the long-term trend line. And if we break below it, we can see a much more significant sell-off in Kiwi dollar. It could bounce a little bit. Even if it bounces, I'm going to be seller on rallies towards 59 cents. And no surprise, Euro Kiwi already at its strongest level ever. And, that's obviously a trickier trade. But if we drop down a little bit of just kind of profit taking, I'm still going to be a buyer of Euro Kiwi on rallies. The Canadian dollar, the Bank of Canada, they left interest rates unchanged last week. Canadian data has been quite weak, and they, basically indicated that more could come. So I actually really, really like this trade, particularly if we get a little bit of US dollar rally. So we get a US dollar rally because we have no data. I actually think dollar CAD could move upwards. So I'm going to be looking for opportunities using my zip setup to buy dollar CAD. Like we have a zip buy signal. This is a really nice zip buy signal. It didn't really move much because Mondays can be quiet, but it's right now it's my buy zone, which means that it's the background's green. It's above the indicator line, so it looks really good. So I do think that this is a nice setup as long as it holds in the buy zone territory for dollar CAD. We do have one rate decision this week. The one rate decision, and I didn't do a table from it because it's really not that interesting. The one rate decision is from the Swiss National Bank. Last time they met, they cut interest rates to 0. They indicated that they could cut interest rates further, but they're not in a position to cut interest rates this week. So I think, we're not going to get much from the SNB. The Swiss franc is really trading on dollar flows, but overall Swiss data has been quite weak. So it's, found a little bit of a bottom. I particularly think it's going to rally against Euro Swiss. So if we rise back above 93.50, overall in general, I think Euro Swiss could rally because I'm positive euros and positive Swiss francs. So I think there's some really nice upside opportunity on this trade here. So we talked about all of these major currencies: bearish CAD, bearish Kiwi, neutral Swiss francs, bullish the Japanese yen. In terms of the economic calendar for this coming week, let's take a look at all of the countries. We've gone through most of these already. We had some Canadian data, not really all that market moving. Today, we have a lot of Fed speak. Williams is speaking. Miram is speaking. Muslim, Markham, Hammock. We have a lot of Fed speak, but data-wise, not much. We do have tonight the flash PMIs from Australia. Japan's on holiday, so the yen's not really going to move too much. Then tomorrow, we have the flash PMIs from the Eurozone, very market moving for Euro. You can see the market is expecting the German data to be stronger, the French data to be weaker, and the overall Eurozone data to be slightly stronger as well. The market's expecting the PMIs from the UK to be mixed, but I think they're going to be weaker. And then we have Powell speaking tomorrow at 12:15. We have Bostic, Bauman. All of those are interesting. The US has flash PMIs, which are interesting, but they're not as market moving as the ISMs. I think the speeches by the Fed officials, the Eurozone PMIs, UK PMIs are going to be much more interesting. Then we have Australian inflation data coming out Tuesday evening. Wednesday, the main report is going to be the German IFO report, which is expected to be a little stronger as well. More Fed speak, BOJ minutes, probably a little bit of hawkishness. SMB meets on Thursday. No changes are expected. And then we have durable goods orders from the US, trade balance, jobless claims on Thursday, revisions to US GDP. This will show us how much of an impact the tariffs have had on US trade activity. So it could be more important than usual. And of course, the jobless claims reports have become more important than usual as well. More Fed speak, so watch the headlines. Existing home sales expected to be weaker. Thursday night is when we have Tokyo inflation data, huge jump expected. Another reason why I'm bullish yen. And at the end of the week, we have personal income, personal spending, PCE deflators from the US, most of which expected to be weaker. We have Canadian GDP numbers, a little bit of a bump up expected there. So those are the numbers that we are expecting from the US this week. And so that's what we're looking at on a fundamental basis. And so we already looked through the charts and we looked at everything from a technical basis. So I just want to take this opportunity to remind all of you that, that my fundamentals, check out my fundamentals masterclass. I am giving this masterclass starting on October 4th. It is really, really valuable. Scan it for more details, one time only. So if you want to learn how to understand fundamentals like I do, that's what I'm going to try my best to try to get you to do. And it's very, very comprehensive. And it's it's your one time only to really learn from me and get all of the details. So make sure you use that opportunity to do so. I'm not sure why I can't bring it up again, but join me, click on this link that Boris has added. And I hope to see you all there. I'm working very, very hard in this class. We have assignments, and we're going to be meeting 6 times a week. Monday, our usual live stream, coaching, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to go through the assignments, answer your questions. And then Saturday is when we have the classes and, the lessons. So really, really comprehensive, 10 weeks starting on October 4th. And I won't be doing it again. All right, so questions now before I turn it over to Boris. Last Out Loud says, do I look at seasonality and sentiment? Yes, I do. I look at seasonality quite a bit. I don't really look at COT sentiment, but I will teach people how to do that in the masterclass as well. Any other questions? Hopefully, this has prepared you for the trading week. It'll be more about technicals than fundamentals this week, but keep an eye on the headlines. And BK members, we will be back at it. Going over our trades and looking for opportunities. The Trump visa fee weakened the dollar. Yeah, I think we talked about how this contributed to the weakness of the dollar, along with some other things as well. Any other questions? If not, I'm sure you're all excited to get ready to live trade with Boris. Let's bring Boris in. I'm going to add him to the stage if he wants to say hello. And tell us what he's trading this morning.
Oh my God, what am I not trading this morning? What a crazy morning for everybody who's trading, especially in gold. I'm going to go through the gold chart to show you there's literally about 15 winning trades since 5 o'clock this morning in gold using our strategy. Hi everybody, how's everybody doing? I'm going to change the, give me a second. I'm going to change the structure a little bit. And okay, I'm going to take you off the chart. Just one sec. I'm going to find myself. There we go. Okay, I'm here and I'm going to do my chart. Entire screen. Okay. All right, share screen. Cool. Let me clean this up a little bit here. Okay. All right. Good morning, guys. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Sound check, mic check. Actually, give me a screen check. Do I changed the camera setting I'm a little bit, higher up. I think you guys can see me a little bit better. Give me a thumbs up if you think I look good, or if I need to change the camera a little bit more. Good morning, Patek. Good morning, Miguel, Fred, everybody. Another mutant. Good morning, everybody. How's the camera? Camera angle good? You see me okay? All right. I'm not too low, not too high. All right. Awesome. All right. So first order of business is what a crazy good morning in gold. Anybody trading gold today? Anybody hitting our trades? I did something over the weekend that I think everybody is going to love, both members and non-members, because this is available to anybody who becomes a member of BK. If you join BK, you get access to my day trading course for free. I'm just putting the join link over here, okay? Before you do anything else, if you're not member of just our free room, our free website, our free app, get in there, because what I did is what everybody's been asking me for forever. And I finally took the time this weekend to do it. Let me show you. I'm going to go into our community. Okay. I want everybody to come into our community, period. But I'm going to go into our community, which is right here on the web, right? Here's, welcome, start here. You can chat with us. You can talk. There's Kathy. Kathy, of course, posts 1,000 times more than I do, so on and so forth. But the important part that I want to show you is this particular course. If we go into courses in the community, the day trading course, my day trading course. If you go in here and you look at it, where is this? Hold on. Did I screw this up? I know what I did. Just one sec, guys. Bear with me, because I want everybody to get access to this. Give me just 1 second. I have to just grant access. I did everything right except the last piece. Just bear with me, guys, because you guys are really going to like this. I'm going to go to memberships, products. Bear with me. Here's my course, day trading course. There we go. Hold on just 1 second. Published. Okay. Now I'm going to refresh this. Up top of my day trading course, there should be, give it a second, mini crash course in dots trading. Exactly what you guys have been asking me for. A mini course in number one, futures, tells you all about futures and how to do it, right? And all about the dots indicator and how we trade. So if you really want to understand in deep detail exactly what the indicator does, how it works, what our strategy is, it's all for free here, including all the future stuff that's in here that's available. And I'm actually going to put in, I'm going to add a PDF to this thing that you can download that tells you exactly the point value of every single future. It'll be attached right over here, so you'll have that as well. So this is totally free. I want everybody who's just listening to me right now that is not a member of BK to go out there and go get it. And if you are a member of BK, then it's in the course now, and you're of course have that reference source for everybody that wants it. So for those of you guys who, let's just start with gold, because gold has just been a monster trade. Gold, I've been trading pretty much strictly to the long side. I don't even bother taking any shorts. I told you, both gold and NASDAQ, but gold especially, gold is at all-time highs. When something is at all-time highs, there's only two trades you want to make: breakout trades and buy the dip trades. That's all you need to do to be on the right side of trade the whole time. So I'm going to show you what I've been doing as far as our bread and butter trades, and then also how I accelerated my P&L this morning by buying breakout trades in a very interesting fashion. So the basic trade that we like to do is we like to actually buy the red Christmas tree label. If you want to know what the red Christmas tree label is and all of the stuff, go watch the course, because that's really what it's there to explain to you. But it's basically a flush down in an uptrend. We buy this. And then you can see here, I marked every single winning trade with a star, literally no losing trades. I was trading this with a $1 target, $2 stop, 1 to 2, 1 to 2, 1 to 2, every single red Christmas tree in gold from 5 o'clock onward worked like a charm. The second setup that I was working is the breakout setup. And the breakout setup that I really like, because it's kind of a combination of a retrace and a breakout. You're not chasing too much. You're just chasing at the beginning of the move, is the white dot breakout. So just buying the white dot also worked, not as well, because breakouts always have fake outs. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 winning trades against 2 losing trades. These did not reach their target. The thing that I was doing with a breakout trade, and the thing I continue to do with the breakout trade, is that it has to be much bigger volatility, twice as large on target and twice as large on the stop. So here I was trading it with a 1-2 structure, And as we're looking right now, by the way, at gold, we actually have, what time is it now? Oh, it's 9:27. We're gonna hold off on this, although I'm pretty sure this is gonna be a pretty good trade. But we'll hold off because it's just market open, so we don't want to trade that 5 minute before, 5 minute after the market. We'll just let the market do its thing. But this is not a bad trade. If you guys weren't over my shoulder, I probably would probably take this if I had a chance to take it. So the breakouts require twice as much volatility as the retrace, because the retrace is, you're assuming it's the bottom. You're assuming there's very little slippage going on here. Whereas with breakout, you're always chasing, so there's natural retrace. So in order to stay in the trade and be alive, you have to give yourself a little more room. And I'm doing, by the way, the exact same thing on NASDAQ, although NASDAQ has kind of been a secondary trade today. Now, the single most important thing that is beyond the strategy, that really made for a lot of success for me this morning. And if nothing else you get out of trading with me, this is the one piece of advice I guarantee you is the best advice you're ever going to get. Is I am trading 4 separate accounts. So I'm trading one breakout account, one retrace account for gold, right? And it doesn't even matter. I'm not allocating only red labels to one account and white dots to the other account. I'm basically trading the reds until I lose, or I'm trading the setup until I lose, and then I flip over to the other account. The single most important thing you can do when you're trading prop, and this is why you will succeed or fail, is change accounts the moment you hit a losing trade, because that is your single best psychological defense against averaging up, averaging down, adding to position, increasing size, pulling your stops, and doing literally every single piece of behavior that is guaranteed to blow you out of the account. I'm trading the account until I hit a loser, then I go to the next account. Or if I'm in one trade and I have a different setup, another trade, I go to the next account. And I do the same thing with NASDAQ as I do with gold. So like right now, for example, I'm actually in, let me see, where am I in? I don't even know where I'm in. I'm still floating. Yeah, I'm still floating. I have a white dot trade in gold that's been floating for the last 20 minutes. And there's a new white dot trade coming up in gold right now, kind of a breakout trade that I'm not taking because I'm already in that trade. Like, in other words, it's the same setup. I don't have to, make it back. But if I had a Christmas tree, like, a big retrace trade, I would go to a different account and trade it. Similarly, I was trading NASDAQ, 43, 44 are my NASDAQ trades. So this is 43. Where's my 44? Here's my 44. The NASDAQ trades I was trading on, this is the breakout account, and that just simply hit my target right now. I think, let me show you. I specifically took off all the marks because I didn't want to confuse you. But here, I was in at 804 on this breakout, and it hit 814, okay? So now I only have one account that's kind of live, the white dot account, and now I have this particular Christmas tree trade over here in gold. I'm going to try and switch over to a gold account that's free. Free basically means that I don't have any position in it. So this one, and I'm going to trade it. If I get the signal, I'll trade it over here. But as you can see, gold is not quite coming down a little bit. But I don't recommend copy trading. No, this is a much more intelligent way of trading prop. When you're doing copy trading, if you think about this, you're taking one mistake and multiplying it by 10 times. I know the attraction is that you're making one trade and multiplying by 10 times wins, but that's in real life. You're just multiplying your mistakes. Okay. The whole idea of winning is actually to minimize your mistakes, and by having lots and lots of. By the way, look how this flipped around. My white, I think I'm at 59. I gotta I'll tell you where I'm at. The account that I'm floating. No, not this one. It's the 42. This one. So I'm in this one. I've been in this one forever. God knows where I'm. I'm in this one from like over here. The target is 59.7. And the other thing I was going to tell you that's very, very good about having separate accounts for a separate setup is you literally stopped having anxiety about the trade. It's either gets done or it doesn't get done. You let it be. You have your stops, you have your targets. It's making the best behaviors of traders automatically, or at least as automatically as we possibly can, right? So yeah, I don't care. This wins, this loses, it doesn't matter because the idea is to take the consistent process trades, and the only way you can do that psychologically is if you have it in separate accounts, right? This thing is probably going to stop me right now. It's fine, no big deal. We'll switch to a different account on this one. It's it's been trading forever on these two trades. So we're going to go to 141 and see if I can get the next trade over. The point being is the only way you can fight bad habits is by having multiple accounts, and because Apex is going to close out its discount tomorrow or tonight, I think. I don't even know. I think it's tomorrow night. You better get them right now. Guaranteed, this is the only way you're going to be able to just durably pass your test. The reason why, by the way, this is so important is not just that you're going to be able to durably pass your test, which all of us do very, very well. It's the only way you're going to be durably able to keep your accounts that are funded. Because when you're going into the funded stage, the single most important thing that people do in terms of, or the single most common thing that people do in terms of blowing themselves up is that they basically always average into losers because they're losing on the account. And if you don't have to, if you're not doing that, if you're just simply trading one single contract all the time, you will never blow the account all at once. Okay, you'll be able to stay in the account until the market goes your way, because you're going to bleed very, very slowly on the negative trades. That's a huge, huge positive, and you're going to be able to do that well. So like right now, the only thing I care about is looking for setups. And the setup right now is the Christmas tree red one. That's going to be a 1-2 setup, $1 target, $2 stop. If this thing, gives it to me. We still have 50 seconds left, so I don't know if the Christmas tree is going to stay. And similarly on NASDAQ, we took this. This was the last great trade on NASDAQ, the white dot. Now we're going to just see if we get a red Christmas tree set up in NASDAQ, and then when we get that, we'll try to trade that as well. So everybody understand what I'm saying? That the single most important thing you need to do is separate. The moment you have a loser, you go to a different account. it doesn't even matter that you separate by strategy or product or anything else. It matters much more that you leave the account you lost for a little bit until you have some time. Okay, no setup on the Christmas tree. The other thing that it does is that because you are in a fresh new account when you're looking for a setup, you can also wait patiently for the setup to happen. You don't have to rush, or you don't have to be on the opposite side of the market, or you don't have to worry about a million different things because it's a clean account at that moment, designed to take advantage only of the setup as is. So like right now, I have another white dot setup, right? $1.30 on the clock. If this holds, we're going to take it in this setup, and then we'll wait for the next thing to show up on the gold, and then we'll watch what's happening in NASDAQ. This makes it very, very easy to take advantage of all the possible trade ideas that you have, while at the same time not blowing up the account. And if as you see, you catch yourself in a super beautiful trend move, like I think this account was like $1,700. Yeah, it started. I did it this morning, $1,700 already. I'm more than halfway towards funding in just morning night because I caught most of the good moves in a proper fashion. I could have done a lot more in NASDAQ. I was just busy with this morning, but. What's the basic hardware? I'm actually using nothing more than Lenovo laptop. I am a huge believer in Lenovo's. If you're a PC person, I'm a huge believer in Lenovo's. And if you're a Mac, I absolutely love the Mac Mini. I had the Mac Mini 3 with 4 quad memory and shit like that, and I went back to the Mac Mini 1, and the Mac Mini 1 works fine. Okay, watching this. Okay, we're long. I'm long here. Oh no, why am I long here? What am I? Okay, I got to get out. Sorry, I'm out of this trade. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not paying any attention. I should be long here. We're having a little bit of. Never mind. All right, fuck this. I messed up this thing. It should be a 20-40 trade. Okay. I'm going to do this just to show you why is this not working? Oh, it's so slow. It's just market open trading view is really, really slow, really, really slow. So the trade here it's a white dot breakout trade. Close is 54.4. Target should be 56.4. And the stop is 50.4. So I'm just moving all this around. And I'm absolutely, the most important thing is not what you got, what you made the trade at. It's what the close is and where you should be as far as the close and the target. So this is a 2-4 trade. The volatility is larger. Anytime you do a breakout trade, it's always a much larger volatility. And I'm basically trading this for a 2-4 trade, meaning that my target, the close of this candle was 54.4. $2 is 56.4. So I made it 56.4. The stop is at 50.4, which is a $4 stop. And we're just hanging in there, see if this trade works. Okay. Yeah. iPad Pro is not something I would trade on. I don't know. Maybe you could. Maybe with the keyboard and everything else. And look, everything is web-based these days. So it's not like it really everything. All the processing happens on the server side, and you see, the servers will jam up on the open as a result of it. I don't think you need much to really make this. Okay, so here's a kind of interesting situation. Now you have like a white dot on one hand and possibly a Christmas tree red on the other. So like you have these two separate setups. Because you have two separate accounts, you could actually go, like right now, I'm in this account. I don't care about this account anymore. Now I'm going to switch to my other account, to this account. And if I get a Christmas tree setup, I'll take it in here. Okay. So like once I've done the trade, I actually leave that account and leave it alone. Whatever gets done is going to pop up over here on the chart and tell me if it gets done. If you remember, it was 56.4 was the target. So if we get 56.4, maybe this white dot trade is gonna do its do its thing. In the meantime, I'm watching NASDAQ, see if there's anything on NASDAQ. And it looks like we got done, by the way. So look at this. Let's just go back to the other account. And we're done, right? So that account, oops, hold on a second. What's going on over here? What's all this crap? I had all sorts of crap here. Okay, so that's all got done. We're all crystal clear on this. There's a little bit of a lag and delay because this is the market open and there's so much stress and so much activity on gold right now. So it's clear that TradingView is just having a little bit of a lag. But we got done on everything. So that 51 now is almost up to 50. Excuse me, that 50, which was early this morning, almost to 52, in just literally one lot trades, that kind of stuff. So I think that's really, really important. Before anything else, right? Is just simply the fact that these trades worked really, really well by separating ourselves from one to the other, and that's it. Have you guys been able to log in and see the day trading course? Anybody who's, for example, new? Yeah. Oh, so like, for example, Christopher, who loves to trade like a version of a retrace where he buys the purple dot because the slope here is green. He buys a purple dot. He's long. I guess he would be long here at 29.25. Target would be 34.25. With a stop at I don't know what do you use as a stop? Do you use a 3x stop? So that would be. Besides, it looks like he's done. By the way, guys, he looks like he just got done on the trade, right? Very nice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually, first of all, I got two things coming up. I have a Christmas tree set up over here. That's possibly setting up on my gold account. So I got to look at my golds. Okay, let me go to my other golds, and trade that over there. And then I also the only problem is when you get a setup on both NASDAQ and gold on the same bar, you kind of have to tap dance a little because you're going to be late on one. You have to switch accounts on that particular bar. But right now, I have a clean account for gold. If the account sets up, it's going to be a 1-2 setup. $1 target, $2 stop. We're going to adjust ourselves accordingly. And then if I have a chance, I'll try to trade the white dot. But if it's if it runs away from me, it runs away from me. I can't do both accounts at the same time. It's definitely a gold dominant day today. So that's where all the price actions are. Oh, look at this. The Christmas tree goes away. So here's the cool thing. We can just literally go buy. It does, like I said to you, it doesn't matter as long as I had a free, clean account. This account was nice and free and clear, right? And clean. Why is the oh my God, this thing is just like it's so late. Did you guys see that? I made $100, but everything is so delayed that I didn't even get a chance to adjust it. In a world where we don't have lags because so much of there's so much stress on TradingView right now. What would have happened is I would have bought this. I would have been able to go for 10 points instead of plus 5 points by adjusting my stops and targets, and I had a 10-20 stop. But in this case, I had like a 5 default stop, and that's the one that did me fine. Doesn't matter. But again, what's important here isn't what instrument. What's important is that you have a clean account to trade the setup, and you just move over. Clean account, trade the setup, because it's not about dedicating one account to one instrument, one thing. It's about making sure that you have clean, psychologically, clear trades every time they appear. And as long as you got a free account, you do it. At the end of the day, you take a look and you see, oh, wow, some did well, some did poorly, but in the end, all I need is 1 or 2 to do well to get funded, right? Same idea on a payout. If I have 10, 20 payouts like this, all I need is 1 or 2 to get paid out. Obviously, I'm exaggerating. What you're hoping for is that 2 out of 4 get paid out, at which point the P&L is massive. TradingView is so slow. Yes, TradingView is very, very slow. I don't know what's going on. So, they clearly are stressing a little bit. I should probably be placing my trades through Tradeovate, which I will. But we've had such easy access with TradingView. And by the way, I'm going to talk to Rob today. I'm going to speak to him and see if we can how fast we are on the wealth charts. So the moment we go, the moment wealth charts puts the new version of dots on there, we're going to be able to trade wealth charts really, really well. That tends to be a lot faster as far as the setup goes. So we will adjust. Eddie says he had to get rid of. Well, Eddie, you have to understand that it's not like you're getting rid of one versus the other. I'm going to show you guys. Like I'm going to do this off. I'm going to show you actually on screen. Oh, hang on. We got to set up going. Well, actually, we got time. I'm going to show you on screen how to place trades on Tradeovate. That just a second. Hopefully, we can get in. That will show up on TradingView. I mean, the only difference is that Tradeovate obviously is going to be a little bit of faster execution. I mean, in a perfect world, what I really want is to get the indicator on wealth charts, because then we will have both the speed of execution and everything else. Here's my Tradeovate. What's going on over here? Look at it. Tradeovate is also having an issue. Oh my God, what's going on over here? It's taking time. All right, I'm going to go to my. I don't know. We'll do 143. We'll just do like a nice clean setup. And what I want, I haven't got. This is. We'll do GC, GCZ, gold, $48.9. I can't do this. I'm gonna have to do this off Tradeovate, but I'll show you how to do this in a second. All right. I bought this. Oh, again. Wow, what's going on? Man, it's so slow. Where's my stops and targets? Oh, this is really, really hard, guys. I can't do this. This is horrible. All right, I'm just going to get out. I'm going to get out. We made money, but what I'm going to do is, because clearly, TradingView is having an issue. I'm going to show you how to set up stops and targets on Tradeovate. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to settings over here. We're going to create a new one. No. God damn it. All right. We're going to call this 10 by 20. And it will be 10 profit, 20 stop. I'm going to save it. ATMs, 10 by 20. And now we're going to place those trades in Tradeovate. I'm going to place those trades off screen on Tradeovate, and it will appear on TradingView, because TradingView is clearly having all sorts of issues right now. It's just there's nothing much you can do. Yeah, TradingView is just having it's delayed, because I think so many people are trading gold right now on TradingView that it's just having a nice time. By the way, while we were yapping, we missed this white dot in what do you call it, in NASDAQ. So one of the other things I'm going to do right now is while you guys are watching the charts, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to set up a it's going to be 40 by 80 in NASDAQ, which is a 40 tick by 80 tick move in NASDAQ. And you'll see that when I buy in Tradeovate, which is off screen, it will pop itself up on TradingView. So that's going to give me faster access. Psychologically clear. Yes, seriously. That's the whole idea. It's a it's a trick that really works. Right? So what, I don't even know what happened here, honestly. Let's just go see. Yeah, we bought 48.6 and the target was 49.6, but because it was so hard to adjust, we just took a smaller P&L on this thing. But as you can see, gold has just been money, 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 right? Everywhere you buy, it's just been money, money, money. Let me see what's going on over here. It's easier for me to actually go through stuff on Tradeovate. 41, 42, 43, 44. Okay, cool. All right. So I give you an idea. I have 4 accounts, right? Only one is just marginally negative. All the other 3 are positive, right? And if you think about this, if I'm 2 positive, 2 negative, I'm ahead, because the whole idea is to guide one of them to target, right? And if I can guide two to target, then I've done a great job. I think that's how you have to think about all of this. Everybody always, the great thing about prop is that the accounts are infinite, the resources are infinite, the opportunities are infinite. It's not like it's, when you're trading your own money and you're like, oh my God, I only have this one account, and if I don't do a correct thing in it, I'm going to burn it. You have lots and lots of accounts, and it's okay to burn accounts, obviously with reason, but we're all going to burn accounts. But the point is, you could burn accounts and still win, which is what makes prop so much better than trading for yourself. This is why it's such a great idea. Slope is red, downtrend in gold, and as soon as there's a red tree, you go long. Yeah, I don't care about the slope. As I said, I don't even care about the slope on the white dot over here. We have a setup here on the white dot, right? Which, by the way, hang on a second. I gotta trying to do a million things here, guys. So I'm gonna create another 2040. I'm entering from Tradeovate because clearly something is wrong with TradingView here. So I have this one account that I'm going to try and trade 2040 from. I'm going to trade the 43 account. Okay, we're going to move this over to the 43 account. 43 account. And 12 seconds left. We're going to buy this. And then, again, this is a $2 target, $4 stop, buy market. All right, so now you see it became much faster because I entered through Tradeovate instead of TradingView. Now you see all the stops and targets pop up over here. Now the only thing I need to do, and this is a cool thing I can do off TradingView. So 53.2, 55.2 is my target. 55, leave it 55.1, whatever. Yeah, I always like to leave it a little bit under rather than over. The whole point is that you need to put it in from where you got executed, not where from where the candle closed, not where you got executed. So let's see if we can hit this. And you can actually see, I don't know why my thing is not showing up here. The DOM is not showing up for some reason. Okay, here it is. What happens, I noticed in TradingView, if you can't find the DOM, switch the instruments from NASDAQ to gold back again, and the DOM will appear on the side here. So this is a 55.1 exit on the DOM, if we can get that going. And 53.2, 49.2. Okay, that's my stop. I'm glad you like that. Seriously. So how's everybody doing today? Who's popped into the room that's never been here? I see a lot more people just joined us in the last hour. This is the place where we do all the tricks of the trade. We trade prop with our friends at Apex. I'm begging you to go get accounts right now because you're going to be so sorry when that discount goes away and you can't do this strategy. Like I said, the whole idea is to have a ton of accounts, rotate around them, never give a shit about any losing trades, and just focus on process. If you can do that, not only are you going to fund a whole bunch of accounts, but you're going to become a much better trader because you're going to stop doing the shit that I do all the time, which is like, I fucked up. I got to go large. I want to do larger size. Larger size is the crack cocaine of the trading business. And we're done. See that? Boom, boom, boom. And I held the trade. And what I was going to say to you is, I don't give a shit. I don't manage the trade. I don't try to let me, it's close. Let me get out of it because I'm so concerned about the product. So it's all done, right? So for now, the trick is to buy Trade of 8 and just watch the price on TradingView. Obviously, you have to have multiple screens like I do to be able to do that because execution has just been so hard over the last couple of minutes because they're just so stressed out. Usually after 10 o'clock, TradingView calms down, the volumes come down. But my point being is, guys, look how many winning trades there were. The Christmas tree trade, the white trade, the Christmas tree trade over here. It's just winner, chicken dinner when you're buying dips and buying breakouts in gold. Gold is a fundamentally long trade. The great, beautiful thing about trading, the great thing about our indicator, which, by the way, those of you guys who are new or who may be hanging out and are going like, how do I get access to this indicator? How do I actually trade with you for real? The answer is very simple. All you got to do is become part of my coaching. Here's my coaching link. And not only do you get my coaching, but you get Kathy's coaching too. So you get to hang out with her and get all of her trade ideas if you're a Forex trader. And you get to hang out with me if you're a futures prop trader and get both. So great deal. Go out there. Go get that deal. How many screens do I have? I have a Lenovo laptop. Pretty good one though. This is like the good ThinkPad. I have it's attached to 36-inch wide monitor. So this is the widescreen monitor is what you guys are watching. So that's 2 screens. And then this is my own little trick. Let me actually show you. I think I can show you what I bought. It's easier for me to show you because what this does is it turns my third screen into 4 screens, into double screen. Let me go to Amazon. Hang on. I don't want to show you my whole Amazon purchase history because I'm sure my wife is going to kill me for showing you all the shit that she buys. So I'm going to show you the exact thing that we bought. It's laptop screen. Let's see if I can find it. InnoView. Okay, hang on. I think I have it. InnoView. Okay, yeah, this is the one. It's very cool. Let me show you. So this is a very, very cool thing. It's $200. It's literally nothing. It folds into a little tablet. So basically, you could have 3 monitors with just a laptop because this is 2 monitors. It's 1, 2, 3. You see that? Super cool. Super cool. I'm going to give you the link. Where's the link here? Here's the link. Copy link. I'm sending the link to the thing. But that is what I use, and it's been the best hack ever because now basically what I have is 4 screens instead of 2 screens, and that makes my life, a lot easier to trade. But you can literally have 3 screens with just a laptop and this thing you can carry with you. I'm not exaggerating when I'm telling you it's 2 pounds. I put my whole laptop and this into my knapsack, and I can be at any coffee shop with a 3-screen setup, which is really, really cool. So that's the hack. It doesn't require huge computing power. It just simply requires real estate. Yeah, with Mac you can use iPad as a sidecar. Yes, I know you can do that too. This is just better because it gives you 2 instead of 1. And also, like, the whole Mac, like the iPad doesn't have the res. This has a 1920 by 1920 res on each of these half screens, so you could, you really can see everything. So it's really, it's very cool. So that's what I do. That just gives me lots of screens to do this. All right. So another one of my favorite setups. Now, there's many of you probably in the room, or some of you in the room, who don't necessarily want to scalp like a dopamine-addled monkey every 5 minutes, and want to do 1 or 2 truly curated trades in a day. And now we're entering into that time frame where we get our first curated trade a day, which is the 10 o'clock trade. This is one of my favorite trades. It's a trade we're going to trade with 10 target and 30 stop. So 10 point. This is going to be a 41-20 trade, 41-20 trade in terms of ticks. And what that requires is a green Christmas tree setup, because obviously we're positive trend now. If this was negative trend, it would be a red Christmas tree setup. If we get that one in the next half hour or so, we'll take it. That'll be our big continuity setup. That works really well. Like, of course, could fail today. It's never works 100%, but it works like 80-90% of the time. 8-9 days. If you can find a clean trend and a clean green signal, you have high confidence that you're going to get continuity after the 10 o'clock trade. On the other hand, on the gold side, we're starting to have a potential Christmas tree setup here to the downside. Gold has just been basically trading 60-50, and we've been able to just clip out trades within that range, which has just been great, for the time being. So even when it starts to consolidate in range, because of the way we approach it, we try to buy the bottom of the range and try to buy the bottom of the turn. We've been able to really, capitalize on just this range, just enough movement for us to make our money. Yeah, same risk on wealth charts. It's wealth charts and TradingView are same platforms. In terms of the same instrument, it's just the way different the way they're displayed. But yeah, same risk. It may take a little while to see if we can get another Christmas tree setup. It may not happen. This may be peak. We were like, we've been trying to run that 25,000. That's going to be a really interesting, story for what's going on. But for sure, the most interesting thing is just how much flow and volume has been. You guys want to? Let's just see. I'm curious. How many contracts has gold traded today? CME GC. Let's see what gold has traded today. Surprisingly, I would have thought more. We've done 133,000 contracts. And my view is, once we go about 200,000, that becomes a really good. It's actually not as much volume as I would have. I'm surprised. I thought we'd be at 250,000 contracts already, but it's still showing a lot of interest. I'm not sure about your question, William. There are the setups that I showed that I'm trading right now have a little bit better risk reward ratio. They're 1 to 2. You're trading a 1. Are you trading ticks or points? I'm sure. Oh, ticks. Oh yeah, you're wrong. You're wrong on ticks. Yes, sorry. Now I understand it. Yes, you're wrong. This is why you need to watch. I just made that whole video for you and for everybody else who doesn't know the difference between a tick and a point. If you don't know the difference between a tick and a point, you need to join BK Traders, or if you're already a member, and go to my day trading course, as I explained. It explains to you the difference between a tick and a point. You really need to understand. A tick is just a part of a point. It's a fraction of a point. So in NASDAQ, 10 points, 10-point target, 30-point stop is a 41-20 structure in terms of ticks. I'm glad you asked that because I'm sure many, many people are confused. But that's how it works. Oh, guys, very important. I totally forgot. No trading tomorrow. It's Jewish New Year. I'll be repenting for my sins, of which there are many. And I was watching this comedian's guy was very funny. He said, "We're the only people that make New Year not fun." It's true. Like everybody else's New Year is, hey, let's party, let's have a great time. Jewish New Year is like, let's eat and repent for all of our sins for the year. Anyways, I'm going to be off tomorrow, so no trading at night. I'll come back on Wednesday, and we'll trade then, and then we'll go from there. And maybe we'll do like Thursday, Marathon Thursday. Ooh, I'm up. Boom. Okay, sorry. We have a white dot set up in gold, which I actually traded off trading view. The great thing about see trade of a trading view, you can do one or the other. Now the key thing for us is to make sure we have the correct stops and targets. So it's a 55 close. I want to be at 57, even 56.8, a little bit lower, and I want to be at 51 on a stop. Okay, and I'm done. And another good white white dot setup on gold that made money. Where am I on gold? I don't know, because again, here's the thing, William. I don't care where I'm at on gold. I think I did it. I don't know which account I did it. This was in this one. Okay, I'm rotating accounts, right? Just to show you, here's my accounts. We go from, I think I have 44. Here's the 44, 50, 81, 43. These are all started in the last hour and a half. 42. This one is negative, and this one is big positive, right? So that's what I'm doing. That is what I'm doing. That's how I keep my sanity, and that's how I keep control. So we can never keep control. We have to create behaviors to help us with our control. And this is one of those behaviors we want to create. Is that helping you guys to see that, to see the accounts, to see what I'm doing, to see how I'm rotating from one to the next, blah, blah, blah. Might as well, actually, we're going to rotate to this one. Take this one, trade NASDAQ. On gold, as I mentioned earlier, there are two trades. The retrace trade, or the value at trend trade, which is like a better euphemism, the value at trend trade, that requires a much easier volatility wrapper of 10, 20. So dollar target, $2 stop. Breakout trades always require wider stops, therefore require wider targets. So a breakout trade is a $2 target, which is a white dot trade, and a $2 stop. It's a $4 stop. $2 target, $4 stop. I'm trading minis. I'm trading one mini on a 50,000, and I'm not changing my size. That's the beauty of it. That's why you can, that's why it helps you. You see the P&L. The P&L becomes quite quick because $200 trades, $200 trades, you're $600 in an hour, right? If you're hitting all of them well, like we did here. This one winner, this one winner, this one winner. All of them did well. So it really, it picks up. A breakout trade is the white dot trade. When we get a white dot in gold, we're getting long. We're getting a white dot in gold, we're getting long. Sorry. You know what? I need to clarify this. There's a small nuance here, and this is why those of you guys who come in coaching get the special treatment. The key thing to the breakout trade is that you need to have a sequence of purple or red. You can't have a green. You can't have a white dot and a white dot and a white dot all in a green sequence, because what you're looking for is selling, buying, selling, buying. You want that tap dance. If you have just buying, you're doing a chase trade. So this is sort of a breakout trade off of a selling momentum. So in this case, this is a buy because you get all of these purple white sequences. You're in good shape. The reason why this was a good trade was because this is a white dot trade preceded by a purple. So you had a sell buy sequence that really made a lot of sense. Christopher is trading the purple dot sequence, which he's done very, very well with. And so he's trading, Christopher, correct me if I'm wrong. You're long 58.75, target 63.75, stop 43.75. Is that correct? It's a $5 target, 5-point target, 15-point stop. Or correct me if you're doing something different. Give us your parameters so that everybody can follow you properly, or can kind of understand what you're doing. I'm looking at NASDAQ right now. There's no setup, but I want to do it in Tradeovate so that I'm well prepared for it. And I want to do if I'm buying a dip, it's going to be a 510, so it's got to be 2040. Somebody says he freaking loves trading. I hear you, my friend. Okay, so I set this up on a 2040. Save. 2040. Okay, cool. All right, so Christopher is trading 30 ticks, so 7.5 target. And it's still trading with a 1-to-3 ratio, but he's trading 30 ticks against 90 ticks. That's kind of interesting. So in his scenario, he's long 58.75. The target would be 64.25, 750. The stop would be like 36.50, something like that, like relatively close. Oh, we got a Christmas tree set up here in gold, which we're going to take. Oh, went away. All right, no trade. And again, that's the beauty of our indicator is unless you have the signal, you don't take it. And it keeps us out of mediocre trades. Yeah. How's that resolved? Oh, because you went to 64. That's right. You bought the 58s and it resolved right here. Beautiful. Good job. So now we're gonna play the white dot in NASDAQ. If it holds. We got how much time? $1:34 on the clock. So we'll see if the white dot. So we're gonna play the white dot. The idea here is this is a breakout in NASDAQ, and that's going to be traded with a 10-point, 20-point, or 40-tick, 80-tick structure on NASDAQ. I'm actually going to set up my in. I want to edit this out. Oops. All right, 52 seconds left. Looks like it might be a setup for us. We'll see if it holds. William, I've been trading wrong all my life, so join the club. We're all just students in the great lesson of life. 15 seconds left. Yeah, so I'm actually going to once we're going to take the trade. Hang on a second. 3, 2, 1. All right. All right, well, long NASDAQ on this trade. This is a 10-point target or a 40-tick target. Let me make sure that I got the right target here. The close on this is 76. So what we should be is 86 is our target. Why is this? I'll leave it at 80, 85.5. And then the stop should be 56. Wow, this is a badass slippage, man. I got Trade Evade really fucked me on the slippage here. Very nice. All right, so we're gonna see if if this plays out. But what we did is we put ourselves. The whole idea is it's not where you got in, it's where the candle closed that you want to create the stops and targets, because the setup is off of the ideal conditions, and then you have to adjust your actual conditions to the ideal conditions that you want, because that's the process. So okay, so we're looking to see if we can get the 86s on it. But what Christopher was telling me was that, and this is, by the way, it's interesting. This purple retrace dot, Christopher, that was actually, it was hard to tell that this was a green slope, right? I thought it was a red slope. I was surprised he took this trade because it was like problematic, no? Or maybe at the time that it was taking it, it was still a green slope, right? Was it? I'm not sure. I'm just asking. It was kind of risky. He admitted that it was kind of risky, but it did work for him. Okay, which is good. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I want to switch over to a different account now. Let's go to 43, because as I'm keeping my eye on here, we're getting into that possibility, not quite here, but we're getting into the possibility of Christmas tree trade here in gold. And again, this is a 1 to 2 trade. So we're going to watch this new account. See, the cool thing is, once you've done that trade, you can just leave it alone. You have to watch it, you have to manage it, you have to do anything. You just go to a different account, and now you're super clean, both mentally, physically, financially, to be able to focus on the next setup, which is the Christmas tree trade. So, we'll see. It's going to be probably the last trade I got to do with you guys, because I have a meet and what time is it? That's not too bad yet. Not so bad. All right, $1.08 on the clock. $1.05. I'm just waiting to see if this gold is going to give us trade. This is going to be a 1 target, 2 stop. I think we're done. Am I done? I can't tell. No, I'm not quite done yet. Now I'm done. Now I'm done on NASDAQ. So that trade, remember I was long that trade at around, was that 76? And I put it to 85 because we got a little bit of a bad execution. And that got done. So that trade got done. Nice. That account worked. And we're good to go. Let me show you which account this was. This was this one. Moved over 43. This was 42. Yeah. Let me show you how that trade worked. Yeah, right there. You can see it. See 76 to 85.50. Nice and clean. It went all the way through our target, but we don't care. We're just trying to take the best slice out of the trade. So no Christmas tree on gold, but I think we did like 10 trades today, guys. I don't even know how many trades I did with you guys. And that's the beauty of it. There's just so many more opportunities because we have so many more accounts to trade them in without having any stress, right? Just, let's take a look at where the accounts are. This one is pretty much back to even. The other one is way ahead, almost at 52,000. The third one is nicely forward. And this one is just basically flat because this one got a little bit ahead too. So we distributed our trades pretty nicely. They're all basically net positive, and now we can go the rest of the day. And the most importantly part is we can have a clean, clear mind for the setups. William, you don't see the white dot. I'm sorry. You need to have the BFF dots Christmas indicator on there. If you have that indicator, you should be able to see all that stuff configured. Again, guys, go watch my, go please join our free course, or join my coaching. Go out there. But most importantly, do not forget, get 5 accounts from Apex today. That's your number one job. Let me just do this. Here's the discount link because then you're going to be able to trade just like I do. Lots of different ideas, no blow-ups, just great setups. I have a PDF that gives you the whole ticks and points thing, which is what I'm going to post up there. Okay, that's what I'm going to put up there. All right, guys, I got to run. I'm sorry. I got to meet. Everybody have a wonderful, those of you guys who celebrate Shana Tova, Happy New Year to everybody. Everybody enjoy. This is really, really a lot of fun for the next couple of days. I think gold is, going to be the money train for us for the next, through the end of the year. I mean, we're now in beautiful all-time highs, lots of movement. Our setups work like a charm in gold. Like, honestly, my whole view today was like, why am I even bothering with NASDAQ? All I need to do is just simply trade gold that I can make money in gold, which is like fun. I mean, I'm only doing NASDAQ with you guys. When I'm off screen, I'm trying to trade myself, I'm just focusing on gold, just letting you guys know. Okay. Thank you guys. Everybody enjoy. Have a great, great day. I'll see everybody on Wednesday. Take care.